Think y'all ready? Let's go ahead and cut this music here. Let's cut the music. What is up, guys? We got a good live tonight with about, I think, like 5 stories that we need to get into. Before we start everything, let me know you can hear me and see me good. Y'all already know how we do. Let me shut the phone off here so y'all not looking at that. Let's go over here to the chat, the chitty chat, and see what y'all got to say. Also, let me know on that intro picture, were you guys able to see like the whole thumbnail or just Whoopi's face? It look, oh shit, it looks a little weird. Hold on, transform, fit the screen. Is something going on with the camera? How does the camera look on y'all end? I see you. Let's go. Everything's good? It's good. Okay, perfect. I don't know why it looks weird right there, but we just going to go ahead and just go along with it, all right? So first things first, guys, we got to actually talk about the former Seattle Seahawks lineman, Chad Wheeler. I noticed that a lot of outlets didn't want to talk about this guy here. Oh, this guy here, whatever vantage point he is on your side. They didn't really want to talk about it. They didn't want to discuss Wonder Bread and what Wonder Bread had done. And so as I ceremoniously take this belt up off out of my waist, you know, did I tell you this was a meeting? No, I'm kidding. Anyway, you guys already know how we do it. We got that Wonder Bread, that Wonder Bread news. We got that Wonder Bread, that Wonder Bread news, that caveman news, that CTE news. Ghetto Gags news, we got that Wonder Bread, that Wonder Bread news, that Massa news, that Caveman news, we got that Unseasoned news, Poodlehead news. Looking like he smelled like an Oscar Mayer winner hot dog right there. Anyway, so Chad Wheeler actually was in the news this week for beating up his girlfriend by the name of Aaliyah. Now, due to her family and her lawyers and stuff wanted to protect her privacy, we don't know her last name and we don't really know a lot about her, to be honest. But what I am going to tell you is she's a very pretty girl. I'm not going to show you the graphic photos because you can just go on Google and see that for yourself. But he really did mess his girlfriend up. And I just want you to tell me, when I tell you this story, if you see what I see when I read it. All right, so him and his girlfriend have been together for a little while now. I'm not sure what her weight and what her height is, but keep in mind that Chad is a lineman and he is literally 6'7" and 310 pounds. So I want you to tell me, if a 6'7", 310 pound man was to start bashing your head in or fighting you in any kind of way, would you really be able to defend yourself? No, you wouldn't. In the words of my grandmother, a bastard like that, you just gotta shoot and kill like a rabid dog. And he pretty much was a rabid dog the night that he attacked her. So for no reason other than Aaliyah refused to bow to him. He said, bow to me. She said no. He immediately just started whooping on her ass. He choked her out twice. So he choked her unconscious once. She woke back up. He choked her unconscious again. He then began to dislocate one of her arms and smash her face in. That's just an all-out attack. He beat her up so bad that the second time he was actually whooping on her, she fell unconscious and he thought that she was dead. So after he was done beating her, he gets up from the bed. He goes and finishes drinking his smoothie. Like he just goes back to dinner like it's nothing. Now Aaliyah, as she is unconscious, then wakes up, you know, because the good Lord wasn't sending her home quite yet. She realized that she's still alive. She gets up, she's crying. She runs to the bathroom in order to lock herself in there. And as she's running to the bathroom, he says, "Oh, damn, you still alive?" So no regard for her life, no regard for nothing at all, right? And so I want to read you Chad's statement. His statement actually said, events happened over the weekend that transpired from a manic episode. I am deeply sorry for the pain and suffering that I have caused Aaliyah and her family. Now, I'm trying to figure out, why is this man so comfortable with just saying, oh, well, you know, the events that transpired was because of a manic episode. Isn't it something how certain people, how Wonder Bread can always have an excuse for their sogginess, but Chocolate City, we can't. Not us. We don't get the benefit of the doubt. We don't get to mess up at all. But anytime they do, it's a manic episode. They're crazy, deranged, in my Martin Lawrence voice. Now, moving along for that, you guys may be wondering what kind of manic episode is he talking about. Well, actually, he's talking about bipolar. The man is bipolar, and apparently he stopped taking his medication. Now, to all my bipolar people out there, this ain't no shade towards you, but I used to work with a lot of bipolar clients, and so I just got to tell you my observations of y'all and what y'all be going through. It be so hard to find medication that works with your brain chemistry and gets you on track, right? And then even once we get you on track, then your brain gets used to the medicine and it stops working. So then we have to play again. So pretty much for your whole life, we're pretty much just playing with medicine to keep you stable and keep you to allow you to at least be able to live a somewhat normal life. But this is what happens: you get the good stuff, you get on a good track in life, things are going good for you, and then you say, "Well, I feel good. I don't need the pills anymore." And like I used to have to explain to him, no, you feel good because of the pills, and I need you to keep taking them. And so that's the back and forth that I used to go through with a lot of my bipolar clients. I don't know if that's his issue right here, if he just felt good so he stopped taking them, or he just didn't feel like taking them so he didn't take them. But when you got a football player and you have a mix of CTE, bipolar disorder, bipolar medication, you really have a recipe for disaster, not to mention a 6'7", 310-pound man that you have no way of fighting off of you at all. So now, what I did want to tell you guys is that he's definitely a benefit of white privilege, because after the girlfriend gets herself in the bathroom, she calls 911. She says, "I'm being killed." They send 3 officers out to the house. The officers bust in. They see Chad there. All 3 officers hop on top of Chad. And do you know this man is so big, so massive, and so strong that 3 grown-ass men was not able to subdue him? As the police officers actually noted in their report, he was actually able to lift himself up off of the floor with all of us still on him. So then the bright-eyed police officer said, "Well, let me go ahead and tase the man." And then they started tasing him. But guess what? The tase didn't work because he's 6'7" and 310 pounds. And I'm reading this report and I'm like, well, damn, the nigga can't even steal no Skittles from the store and y'all shooting. But y'all done gave this 6'7", 310-pound man all these excuses, all these chances at life. Like, I'm not understanding anybody else with any kind of color or core or coil to their hair would have been shot dead like a dog. But this was actually a rabid dog. This is the one they probably should actually put down. But anyway, so moving along from that, they finally subdue him. And they're able to get him in a police van because he was too damn big to actually be put in a police patrol. Are you guys following this story so far? You guys following this story so far? Did they not know he was an NFL player? Probably not. Probably not. Now let me tell you this part of the story. See, a lot of people feel like this is his first time committing domestic violence, but no, it is not. Back in December 2015, Chad was actually taken to a psychiatric ward after barricading himself, a 20-year-old female friend, and a 7-month-old baby boy in an apartment. So they call it barricade. I'm going to just say kidnapping pretty much. He locked him, a woman, and her child in an apartment and proceeded to beat and bust out the windows and the walls. Until the cops are called. When the cops are actually called to the scene, they didn't shoot him. They didn't even tase him. They didn't beat him with the billy club stick. What they did was hit him with some bean bags. So this man is just giving chance after chance after chance. Now, after this story here that I done told you, if anybody says that there is no such thing as white privilege when it comes to the cops, your ass deserve to be shot in your pinky toe. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. This wasn't his first man's time committing domestic violence, and I don't believe this was his first time hitting Aaliyah. I just believe this was the worst time, and it's unfortunate. Now, I'm going to say something else that's going to piss some of y'all off, but y'all know it's me, and I don't give a damn. I've had thoughts about this type of situation, right? Not this exactly, but if you date outside your race and you're black, I can't speak for nobody else because I'm black. I'm the dark-skinned king. I already told y'all. Do you ever sit back and realize that if you date interracially that you are the N-word of your house? Like, I don't know if you realize that, but you will always be the N-word of your house. You're the black one. You know, then you have your spouse. And then you got the mixed children. And everybody got white in them but you. And anytime you need to call the cops, they probably won't take your side. Or if you have a custody issue, you know, the courts are not necessarily in your favor. Like, it dawned on me one day, like, wow, if I were to ever marry interracially, I would be the N-word of the house, and I would have to accept it, even though I'm the man of the house and the king of my castle. I'm supposed to be. I can't really lay my nuts down too hard, because with the three little the numbers 911, my wife got my ass if she's not black. Am I the only one to think about that? We're gonna move right along from this story. I just had to say that. Say it's from the, let's see. Wow. Y'all know it's true. What did she see in him? I don't know what she saw in him, to be quite honest. I really don't. All right. Moving right along from that, we got to talk about Marilyn Manson. All right. Now, Marilyn Manson is a rock singer, rock star. If you're a fan of his and you actually call what he makes music, then fine. I'm not. I'm just not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that satanic ass music. I'm sorry, right? I like the soft, classic poppy rock, the little cute stuff, but stuff like that. That's just not my scene. Screamo and all that is simply not for me. But Marilyn Manson, who, as you guys should know, was pretty much an overall dark person with a dark spirit and a dark cloud led over him. He has been rumored to have had a rib removed. I'm sorry, 2 ribs removed just so he can give head, and that was actually proven to not be true. But he did have some kind of rib surgery. We just don't know for what. Anyway, moving right along from that, all right, he is actually being accused by an actress by the name of Evan Rachel Wood. Let me put her picture up there. That's Evan Rachel Wood. She is another actress. So this is some Wonder Bread news as well. But this ain't even necessarily Wonder Bread news. This is demon news. And I don't want to clap to that. I don't want to summon no spirits up in here. Anyway, moving right along from that, what I did want to tell you guys before we get into everything is that Marilyn Manson has been an alleged Satanist. And I'm here to tell you that although he might not call himself a Satanist, the world calls him a Satanist, but what I can confirm is that Marilyn Manson actually has it's way up there. Hold up. Let's get Evan's picture down. All right, cool. So this right here, that's Marilyn on the left, and of course it was a while ago. This was pretty much in his youth, okay? So that's Marilyn on the left, and then that's Anton Levy on the right, you know, the high priest of the Church of Satan. And so Marilyn has always had this like affiliation with them. He was never actually ordained as a priest in the Church of Satan, but he was actually given an honorary priesthood of the Church of Satan. And you might say honorary priesthood, but what do you mean by that? Well, it's no different than when you receive an honorary doctorate degree or honorary anything. You receive an honorary medal, nomination, whatever, because your values and your principles uphold whatever institution that is supporting you. And so the Church of Satan actually came out and said that Marilyn has properly done his work on earth, and that is why we acknowledge him as honorary priest of the Church of Satan. All right. And so I did a little bit more digging. And as you can see here, this is actually the client of the Internal Empire, Marilyn Manson. This is the membership card right here. 100261. Signed right there on a dotted line. Now, that's a picture from back in the day. But if that don't tell you that this man, if that don't tell you all you need to know about this man, then I really don't know what to tell you from there. But let's put Evan's picture back up there. All right, Evan, who is an actress herself, has actually accused Marilyn Manson of abuse, abuse with the S word. I can't really say that, being brainwashed, retaliation, as well as slander and threats of blackmail, which is why she stayed with him as long as she did. So now, keep in mind, Evan actually met Marilyn in 2006 when she was 18 and he was 36 years old. You might wonder why in Hollywood and in these satanic cults that they constantly love to be around the youth, because if you're around youth, you have relations with youth, you do certain things with youth, you use youth for certain rituals, you get more, it helps you to stay alive longer and it keeps you young, all right? That's literally why when you see a young person with such an older person, it looks like the older person gets a little younger and you see the youth literally being sucked out of the younger one. It's just, they need them for all those rituals that they do, they need them. Now, when I did my research on the Church of Satan's website, they claim they don't do human sacrifice. They claim they don't use people for rituals, but are they really gonna tell you everything on the front cover? They really not. You're gonna have to join it and get in there to really see what they actually do. All right. Evan describes many times where he would do things to her against her will, beat her down. He was apparently a cocaine addict as well. And one of the actresses that came out in support of Evan was Rose McGowan, if you remember her from Charm. So let me play you what Rose had to say. That video still came out low, so we're gonna move past that. But Rose McGowan came out to basically say, look, I support Evan, and although Marilyn Manson didn't beat me while I was with him, we broke up due to cocaine. That's why Rose McGowan and Marilyn Manson didn't work. And so now I did a little bit more digging, and I'm just like, well, damn. Is this something that could have actually happened? Well, probably, because in 2009, hopefully you guys can read that. In 2009, Marilyn Manson did an interview with Spin.com, and the shock rocker detailed his failed relationship with 22-year-old Evan Rachel Wood, which left him a bit angry and depressed. He said, I have fantasies every day about smashing her skull in with a sledgehammer. Guess what? Now they're back together. So even after he made those graphic comments in 2009, they ended up getting back together. Evan claims that Marilyn has groomed her since she was 18, isolated her from her family, and literally made her feel like that he was her whole world and kind of her god that she had to worship. No different than R. Kelly, no different than Harvey Weinstein. Bill Cosby was kind of on the same tip. Hugh Hefner as well. If you guys don't see the pattern that goes on in this industry by now, and the young girls and the young men that get sucked up in it, I don't know what to tell you. The patterns are there. Literally, all right? So I did a little bit more digging. Apparently, ex by the name of Ashley Walters said that Marilyn initially presented himself as the perfect boyfriend and then started offering her body for sex to his friends and family. He also then proceeded to throw glass plates and glasses at Ashley's head. Then we move on to another ex by the name of Sarah McNeely. How was he getting all these women? Sarah McNeely also said that he would lock her in rooms and all of their pets ended up dead, which of course was probably for rituals. And so now, do y'all believe it? Because everybody around Marilyn Manson is dropping out of his camp. His new album that was going to come out, his record label has dropped him. His friends are saying we want no affiliation with him. But everybody knew what he did. This is nothing new. He been said it. And this is what gets me about Hollywood. Abusers drop abusers for abusing just so you don't know the abuse that the abuser does. I'm just saying, it's kind of like, oh, your ship is sinking. Okay, we good. We gonna move right along. I have nothing to do with that, although I'm doing the same thing over here. This shit makes no sense. I don't know who Marilyn pissed off, but Marilyn, your chickens have come home to roost. Well, here's the thing, Marilyn. I mean, it don't matter what man do to you on earth. Your soul burning in eternal fire and brimstone is what your ass got to deal with. So I think that's a little bit worse. But maybe you've already accepted that fate. I don't know. Maybe you have. All right, let me move that over. He got money. Other than that, nothing new. Right. Always wonder why the parents don't protect them. No purpose, white flower news. Very true. Very, very true. Okay, we're going to move right along. We're going to move right along from that. And briefly talk about R. Kelly. Now, y'all see that R. Kelly pose? Wait a minute. Y'all see? Who do it better, me or R. Kelly? Wait a minute. Let me get back. Oh, no, he was grabbing her. He was hitting that shit. Don't ask me where I find these pictures, but he was actually hanging out with Aaliyah that day, believe it or not. All right. So this story today is about Richard Arline, who was presented to the girls as R. Kelly's cousin, but that ain't his damn cousin. That was simply a business associate. Why he won't let me drag it down? Wait a minute. All right, we're going to do it that way, I guess. So Richard Arline Jr. there, who was actually just one of R. Kelly's associates, has actually pled guilty to the charges of bribery. So apparently Richard had got in touch with one of the underage women who we only know as Jane Doe. She's 17 years old. He got in touch with her in order to pay her off and keep her from testifying against his brother Robert. Now, he was arrested last year, finally pled guilty. Now, because as he said, I knew what I did was wrong. Yes, Richard, you knew what you did was wrong, but the bribery was not the worst part. You know, the kidnapping, the underage assault, everything you sat around and watch your associate R. Kelly do, it was wrong to do. Let's talk about the fact that everybody in R. Kelly's camp needs to come down. Why haven't the parents been charged for selling their kids? Why hasn't everybody that facilitated this shit been taken down? We all know that R. Kelly didn't do it by himself. If he can't read the numbers on his phone, if he can't read his contract, if he can't read his Bible, that y'all sit next to him in prison just for comfort, if he can only read the McDonald's menu because, well, Lord, the man loves to eat and he loves anything childlike. If he can't can't do that, why do y'all think he orchestrated the whole sex trafficking ring on his own? Of course, everybody was paid very well, and they was paid in line to do it. Now, Richard Arline had actually offered this 17-year-old girl $500,000 to not testify against Robert. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Can I be honest? If I was that girl, $500K to not say nothing, I'm just saying. I ain't saying. I'm just saying. $500K is $500K. I mean, the deed is already done. Technically, I don't know. Maybe my ass is bad, but kudos to her for turning it down. But in addition to Richard Arline, he was named as a co-conspirator with Daryl Russell and Michael Wilson for bribing these young girls that will testify against R. Kelly. Nothing surprising, nothing new. R. Kelly is never getting out of prison. Period. So just let it go. And I still say that y'all might have thought what R. Kelly did was bad, but it is nothing compared to what is really done in this country. Just damn saying. All right, moving right along from that. We got to talk about Hunter Biden really quick. Now, here's the thing, all right? I feel like, or I remember when the Obama girls in, their dad and stuff was in office. I remember how every single little bitty thing they did was watched. And now that those girls are grown women, y'all still following them and still reporting on everything. So if we gonna do the Obama girls like that, I gotta make sure that we do the Biden kid like that. We have to, all right? So Robert Hunter Biden here, better known as Hunter. Now this is definitely a night for Roberts and all of their foolery. All right, as you guys notice, he's actually married and he has a small child. And we saw them at the inauguration of Joe Biden, but somebody was missing. This story is courtesy of the Neighborhood Talk. I just thought it was funny. And who was missing was actually his side baby that he got out here. Now, I know some people may think that Joe Biden, what did Miss Aisha say? Joe Biden is the closest thing you're going to get to black. I guess they are black because they got side babies all up and through here that they not taking care of. Well, he's taking care of it, but he's not a part of his life, all right? So let me pull up the picture here. Let's pull up the picture. That is actually Hunter's baby mama by the name of London. How you say her name? London Roberts, all right? And London Roberts, he actually impregnated a few years back, and she was a stripper. Now, as we all remember from that video where he was allegedly smoking crack and getting a foot job from you know what, I'm not surprised that somebody that smokes crack gets foot jobs also loves himself some strippers. I'm also not surprised that he got her pregnant. We still waiting on the day where Bill Clinton gonna finally claim that half-black child that he had with that black prostitute. But is anybody else gonna talk about it? We not. Are we ever gonna admit that the Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton marriage has been dead and dull for years and ain't really no love or attraction there? But y'all ain't heard that from me, but I'm crazy when I say it anyway. I say all that to say he actually ended up giving London Roberts a $2.5 million paternity settlement. All right, London right now is married to an ex-MMA fighter by the name of Princeton. What's his name? Princeton something. Princeton. It ain't important, but Princeton something, David. But he's an MMA fighter, so Hunter wants none of it. The MMA fighter, the baby mama, live in Arkansas in a $200,000 house with the baby, and they live their own little nice life there. I know if I had $2.5 million, I would probably be smiling just the same. Keep in mind, that was just a paternity settlement. Ain't no telling how much she's actually banking from Hunter every single month. He just wants nothing to do with the baby. He's going to write his check and go. Now, I'm just saying, I ain't trying to be funny, but if we're going to talk about everybody else shady past and what they do, we sure can't leave Hunter Biden out. Got a whole baby mama out here. Why you didn't let that baby come to the inauguration? Why you ain't let that baby come and get to know her grandfather and her new grandmother, Kamala Harris? Why you didn't come? That was a momentous thing you could have done. Oh, you afraid you're going to ruin your daddy's campaign? You ain't going to ruin your daddy's campaign. You not. I promise you not. I mean, hell, Joe Biden and Kamala, didn't they put a whole lot of black people in prison back in the 90s? If that ain't ruined they shit, a little baby mama can't. If black folks can forgive you locking us up, we damn sure can forgive a baby mama or two or a side baby or two. We know what that shit about. I'm just saying, moving right along from that, we got to talk about Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, I guess those are my cue cards. Whoopi Goldberg here, who actually was dragged this week for wearing a PRINCEHALL Freemason shirt as she sat on television and acting like she didn't know what a PRINCEHALL Freemason was. Now, Whoopi, I got to give you your props because people are always talking shit about you, but I ain't, look, back in the day, Whoopi could have got it. I don't care what none of y'all say. Back in the day, she gave you that. Man, back in the day, Whoopi, now she gonna bake you some cookies, but Whoopi Whoopi. I'm just saying. Did you know her daughter used to date Stevie J? I just thought that was interesting. Anyway, so moving right along from that, she wore this Freemason shirt. It was more like a sweater vest or whatever, because, I mean, she wears big-ass clothes anyway. But she claims she didn't know what it was. The internet was on the ruckus, and so she has now vowed to never wear the shirt again. She says that she just got it from online and had no clue what PRINCEHALL Freemason actually meant. Now, I want y'all to tell me if a woman that has been in the industry as long as she have, especially being a black woman in this industry, do you believe that she didn't know what a PRINCEHALL Freemason was? Y'all tell me. She knew. Oh no, she definitely knew. Yeah, like, dang, that's Whoopi. Yes, that's Whoopi. Yes, Whoopi was cute. She knew for sure. She knew for sure. Now, the reason why she wore it, I'm not exactly sure. Honestly, probably just showing her allegiance, you know, to the Masons. And look, I'm not here to talk no shit. I'm just here to let you know that I'm not believing that she didn't know. And so, as you guys may or may not be aware of, this is actually the symbol of a PRINCEHALL Freemason, all right? The PRINCEHALL Freemasons are the black version of the Masons. So, after the American Revolutionary War, there was about 15 black men that actually wanted to join the Masonic Lodge. They were not able to, so they founded their own. And that's pretty much what it is to this day, all right? I want to show you guys a few pictures from the PRINCEHALL Freemason meetings. As you guys know, the typical checker floor, the duality of the dark and the light. We see this time and time again in a lot of celebrity homes, on television shows, and of course this checkerboard pattern we see time and time again in music videos. Hey Megan, hey Cardi, we see it all up and through. In addition to that, this is a Masonic lodge that's actually in France. So now this is one of the originals, as you see, where the floor is beautifully clean. But nonetheless, they kneel there on the left and the right to do their prayer and their initiations, rituals, etc. And then, of course, you got the candles before you come in and the checkerboard floor right there in the middle. Now, a lot of people were saying, well, damn, is Whoopi a PRINCEHALL Freemason? Women can't be PRINCEHAll Freemasons. Women can't be Masons. Like, it's actually literally one of the rules. And in addition to that, what you guys should know is that there are female versions of these Masonic orders, all right? So one of them is called Job's Daughters. And hold on, let me see if it'll let me pull this down. All right, that's the cover of one of the books of Job's Daughters. Now I couldn't show you any pictures because a lot of the girls are little girls, and I'm not playing with that with YouTube. In addition to that, you have the Rainbow Girls organization as well, and then on top of that, you have the Order of the Eastern Star, Order of the North Star. Damn it, I can't remember it, but it's like colorful. Anyway, I'm saying that to say, even with the female versions of the Masons, they can't even be initiated into those fraternities unless they're connected to a Mason. And so for me to see Whoopi be that comfortable with wearing that shirt, I feel like she's either dating a Mason or she's related to one or something. Mason is in her family some kind of way, because there's no reason why she just wore that shirt for nothing. Now, what you guys do need to know is that I'm not here to tell you if Mason is good or bad, because a lot of y'all got Masons in your family. But keep in mind, your Mason uncle in Cleveland, Ohio is not the same as a Mason that works in government or that works in the entertainment industry, because coincidentally, a lot of famous and powerful people are also Masons, all right? So if you read these Georgia Guidestones here, which is a Masonic order, it says maintain humanity under, what is that, 500 million? In perpetual balance with nature. How many billions of people in the world right now? It almost seems as if a bunch of people are going to have to die in order to make that happen. Who else is trying to do that? Bill Gates. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. This ain't nothing but another form of eugenics. They want to reduce the reproduction of certain people in order to match the lower levels of reproductions in others, all right? They only want a certain kind of people in this world reproducing. Come on now, we've all heard this before. Unite humanity with a living new language. Now this one actually hasn't come yet, so I'm waiting on I'm waiting on that one. Like, what's going to be the universal language? Now, I don't know if the universal currency will be Bitcoin. I don't know what it'll be. I'm just throwing shit out there. But what the university, the unite humanity with a living new language. I don't know if that's happened yet. But nonetheless, I just wanted to put those in your head so you would have a mind about what Freemasons were. We'll go deeper on Patreon with it. But I want to read you a list real quick of famous Freemasons, PRINCEHALL Freemasons here. We got Shaquille O'Neal, Nat King Cole, Trayvon Martin's lawyer, Jesse Jackson Jr. and Sr., Don King, Emmanuel Lewis, Nelson Mandela, Roland Martin, Thurgood Marshall, Scottie Pippen, Richard Pryor, Al Sharpton, and Lionel Richie, to say the least. And so I'm just saying, you tell me what you think. Is Whoopi affiliated with Masons? Is she trying to tell you who she's serving, what she about? I don't know. They say that when you get to the end of Freemasonry, you learn who the true light is, which is Lucifer. But we would need a whole nother hour to go through Luciferianism and what that actually stands for. I mean, they say they're chasing a light, but it's probably darkness. But yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, and for everybody that's in fraternities and sororities, yes, whether you realize it or not, you also participated in Freemasonic rituals and ceremonies. It's just the fraternities and sororities are literally built off of Masons. Like, it is what it is. If you attended a school or university, you participated in the Freemasonic ritual as well. Graduation is a ritual. Getting a degree is a ritual. Taking your tassel, moving it from one side of your of the thing to the other, that is a ritual. It's the reason why you do everything. It's a reason why your cap is shaped the way that it is. Like, it's just, the deeper you get in it, you will start to see the symbols everywhere. But if your ass got higher education and went to school, we have all been a part of the Freemasonic order. Moving right along, we got to talk about Beyonce really quick. Ain't nothing necessarily bad. I just got to say, this is one of my favorite looks on her. This was back when she actually talked to us. And I since y'all done talked about this woman's accent so much and due to Wendy Williams that says she sound like a fourth grader when she speaks, she ain't really talked to us much since. But this is one of my favorite looks on her. Back before she started rapping. Sometimes, I love Beyonce, but sometimes I miss the old Beyonce before Jay-Z started influencing her music. Anyway, moving right along from that, a subby sent me this picture and we're gonna blow it up here, of Beyonce and her Ivy Park collection. And if you guys can see, she actually has a scar right in the middle of her stomach, right there. And the subby said, well, wait a minute, Storm, that scar was not visible before. But we didn't see it before. Where did that scar come from? And so I'm like, okay, I know she's had struggles with her weight. She's had 3 kids. She was pregnant with twins. First thing I thought was, well, damn, did she get a tummy tuck? Although I thought a tummy tuck scar was horizontal, not vertical. So when I looked it up a little bit and looked at some average tummy tuck scars, this is kind of what you get, right? So, I mean, these are on white women, of course, so the scar is going to be, a different color. But you get the point, all right? These are tummy tucks that are vertical, and it's a thing that actually happens, okay? So then I said, well, let me dive a little bit deeper, because I thought that with her twins, Rumi and Sir, she actually had a C-section. And so when I actually went and found this text, she said, I was 218 pounds the day I gave birth to Rumi and Sir. I was swollen from toxemia and had been on bed rest for over a month. My health and my baby's health were in danger, so I had an emergency C-section. We spent many weeks in the NICU, all right? After the C-section, my core felt different. It had been major surgery. Now, mind you, she had emergency C-sections. Apparently, when you have a C-section scar that is vertical, you do it because there's less bleeding and better access to the fetus if the mother, but renders the mother unable to attempt a vaginal delivery. Wait a minute, hold up. There's a reason why, though. Okay, it used to be common, but now it is typically only reserved for certain situations, like an emergency. So I'm literally thinking that scar that's on her stomach is not a tummy tuck, is actually the C-section scar. However, when you look at C-section scars, wait a minute, let me find a pic. Let's see. Oh, no, and then let me put it up there. Okay, that's fine. But when you see a lot of the pics of C-sections that are vertical, they go from the navel down, not all the way up from the rib cage. And so I'm going to put the picture up, and I'm going to leave it to you to decide. I know it's a little hard to see from there, but I'm going to leave it up to you to decide, is that a tummy tuck? Is that a C-section? I don't know. If it is a C-section, that's a pretty high damn scar. That's just what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's a pretty high damn scar. Let's see. Okay, I know y'all 30 seconds behind, so I have to wait for it to come up. What scar? Oh, it's there. Movie split. It's the pregnancy scar from carrying twins. Oh, okay. Let's see. She took out some tummy and put it in her body. That's why she was excited to show off curves. I thought C-section scars were horizontal. Sometimes they're vertical in emergency situations. But once you have a vertical C-section, you can never do a vaginal one again. I don't understand the metrics of that, but that's just what I read. Be looking fabulous. Yes, she looks good. Thank you for the donation. I think it's just body jewelry. No, it's a body chain. Are you sure? They said it was a body chain. That looked like a scar. It's a stretch mark. My aunt has hers verticals, but that was the 70s. It could be a stretch mark. Well, there you go. It could simply just be a stretch mark. But I had to address that because a few of y'all sent it to me, and I'm just like, I don't think she had no tummy tuck because she would have been out for a while. And they put the scar here. A C-section scar, even vertical, is still lower. So we've deduced it, people, it's a pregnancy scar. So maybe she normally puts makeup on it and she just decided not to put makeup on it today. Who cares? Not a big effing deal. It's really not. It's really not. Okay, so now, moving along from that, that's a C-section scar. We fishing? No, people was fishing. People was fishing. It will go away after a while. Yes, you can have a V-back. Okay, so now, moving along for that, any questions, comments, or concerns y'all got tonight? Ah, man, we got through that show pretty quick. 36 minutes. Let's see. She could have spray painted it. True. I had 2 C-sections. Mine's from below the navel. Okay. But she easily could have edited her pic. Maybe she didn't want to edit it that time. C-section tuck. Let's see. My C-section scar is a nice cut going a ways from hip to hip. Exactly. All right. Any questions, comments, or concerns tonight? Let me actually go ahead and put it. Let me go right here. Let's see. We normally have more. Well, we lost some viewers because we on so late, but it's all good. Trey Songz. Okay, the whole Trey Songz thing, right? I'm not going to look at the video. Don't send me the video. I'm gonna pass. But based on the comments that I read in the neighborhood talk, y'all going crazy over it. Go back to 2011, I believe it was. It was a tweet Trey Songz put out where he said, if I ever leak a nude, it's going to be to promote an album. The man needs to promote an album and he got an OnlyFans to promote. These celebrities are not really working. I'll do some research. Are y'all surprised that he didn't leak a short video, a short little sex tape? I mean, damn, everybody doing it nowadays. I don't see why it's still a big deal to y'all at that point. Number one, and number two, hell, y'all late. It was another one that came out where he was all in this girl's butt. I told y'all about that where he was, what did he say? Because he was trying to tell her to relax so she could open it up. He said, don't daddy do you in all holes? So let me in. Like, I remember that. And it was taped on on a MacBook. So that video disappeared. Now we got another one. Like, come on now. He got albums to sell. Let's see. Can you make that Masonic video next? Sure. I got to do a Patreon video tonight anyway. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, you told us about that, right? And he had a bump on his pole. I mean, once again, what did I tell you about the industry? Most of them got bumpy poles and you know, labia lip. I'm not gonna go there. Storm, please do another story time. Your story was funny. Let's talk about my story time really quick, right? Because a lot of people felt like I was lying. No, that was the truth. I'm sorry, that was the truth. I was lit. So you make dumb decisions when you lit, and it was what it was. No, it wasn't a man, or I just would have told you it was a man. Like, why? A man would have probably actually showed up. Like, come on, let's be real now. So then a lot of people was like, well, why did he need the lube? What was the lube for? That was a bad wink, but put two and two together. What do you think it was for? If I'm gonna pay for thank you, opinionated. Use your brain. What do you? Come on. That story time was funny. YouTube be having y'all work hard. Oh yeah, we have to. Let's see. What about Beyonce's cousin? Oh, I forgot about that. Let me put that. Put that on my list, because I don't think anybody really covered that either, to be honest. Beyonce's cousin. No, Trey Pole had a big bump. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Can you talk about the witches in Hollywood? I mean, there's not a lot to talk about that I haven't already told you. The majority of them are, and it's not that they're. Some of them are straight up out of covens, and then you just have some that are just. Well, now a lot of them are in covens, but it is what it is. Like, you got to tell me in particular, what you want to know about them. It's not that we've already kind of covered. Storm been around white people. They always use lube. No shade, that's Storm, but that's what I said. Oh my God, I'm a woman, and sometimes you need to look. Come on now. Let's see. They everywhere. What they mean, right? Let's see. Storm, are you coming back from Uncut tonight? Probably, because I'm up late tonight making videos anyway. I saw you flexing in the Wendy Williams story with the belt and overalls. Man, listen. That was an old video from like 2 years ago. I missed that body. I'm trying to get back to that body for real. Anyway, let's see. Bring lube because professional mate. Oh my God. Uzi Vert and the Pink Diamond. Yes. Okay, we would definitely talk about that. This whole trend of implanting diamonds into your face, implanting things in you, as well as excessive tattooing. I know I'm heavily tattooed, but this is society's way of getting you ready to be chipped. Nothing more, nothing less. All right. The mark of the beast has placed what in the forehead or the hand. And you see people doing this with diamonds, pink diamonds, putting them here. I already told you guys the teardrop is actually a satanic symbol that the gangs actually adopted. They don't even know what it is. So all that stuff, be careful with implanting things in your body. Now Lil Uzi Vert said that the diamond is bleeding, and if he takes it out wrong, it could kill him. I don't feel sorry for none of them. His name is Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Uzi Vert. He done already told you who he serves and what he's about. So why are we surprised that he put a pink diamond in his face? Storm, you're a handsome man. I'm sure you'll find a perfect woman. I'm not even worried about that, Trishelle. Dermal piercings ain't new. They're not new, but when you see them being glorified, you need to watch it. It's one thing for something to be around. It's another thing when you see influencers doing it and celebrities doing it for no reason. Storm was going to throw that D in the circle. Oh my God. Let's see. I want to hear more about Angie Martinez. What about Angie Martinez? What you talking about, the fight? Angie Martinez fight. What brand you had? Trojan, the gold pack. Actually, though, you could use the gold pack or even the orange ones, I think, or I'm straight with either one. I think they're orange. Anyway. 24 million diamond though, right? Idiot. Perfect woman. Right. Oh my God. And then with the video, it was so funny because everybody was like, wait, a woman hook? He was trying to buy a woman hooker? I love it. I love y'all so much. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I'm like, y'all are silly. Storm, what is a safe word though? Bananas. What do you think about Dustin Diamond? It's unfortunate that he died like that. We already talked about T.I. and Tiny. We talked about that pretty much. Pretty much with T.I. and Tiny. They brought that shit on themselves. All right, moving right along from that. You gotta join Satanism to see. Yes, you do. I don't have a fan on that's a computer. When I get my sound and my green screen and everything officially set up, it'll be fixed. It's just work with me. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. All right, guys. I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share if you care. If you want to do business on my channel, email me at stormmonroebusiness@gmail.com, as well as if you want a 2-hour consultation for your YouTube channel. If you're trying to go from 0 to 100,000 subs, make sure you already have a channel. A lot of you guys have been reaching out and we do the consult and it's like, well, I can only tell you so much because you don't have your channel yet. So just to avoid all of that, already have a channel, already know what kind of videos you want to make, and then we can get the ball rolling with that. Yeah, no DM requests. Other than that, I will catch you guys later. Play these little commercials, and we out of here. Yamaya's Gift is a brand that specializes in medicinal herbs and all natural supplements to help alleviate a lot of conditions that Americans suffer from, okay? Now, Yamaya's Gift got products to help you with that hypertension, to help speed up that weight loss, get rid of them fibroids, as well as help alleviate the symptoms of that diabetes. Oh yeah, that sugar is real bad. So now with Yamaya's Gift, you get a lot of gifts, but the best gift that anyone could ever give you is the ability to heal thyself from the inside out with products like elderberry syrup to help keep that immunity in check, because we all fighting Miss Rona. We all trying to windmill her ass up out of our lives. But one of my personal favorites, as a matter of fact, 2 of my personal favorite products with Yamaya's Gift is the all natural honey and the tea that's for men. And the reason why I like those products is because if you are somebody with a low sex drive, if you need a boost in the bedroom, and if you are ready to get Brian Pumpered, Lexington Steeled all night long, then just put some of that in your man's cup and you will be on your way to a happier, healthy marriage, all right? Now, place your orders today, whether you need your immunity taken care of, you're trying to lose some weight, you're trying to get rid of that sugar, the diabetes, or you're just trying to bust a nut, okay? Order her shit at www.yamayasgift.com. Are you ready to up your financial game? Are you sick of being broke and want to learn money-making skills that can actually help you to survive any recession or dip in the economy?
While watching the Storm Monroe show, I was introduced to epic trading. It's been a game changer for me. I literally started trading with pennies. I didn't need a minimum investment to start, and the support is really there. Traders teach you in live and pre-recorded videos.
Now, even though here at the Storm Monroe Show, I cannot make any promises on what you can make, but I do want to let you guys know that in some instances, people are making $25,000, $5,000, even $10,000 in a week alone. So this is a company that's definitely worth checking out. So why go give a university tens of thousands where you can invest just a little bit with them and be well on your way to financial freedom and success.
Hey guys, it's Shannon. I am a storm chaser. I learned of this wonderful epic program. This is something that we need to do in the community because it's recession proof, pandemic proof. This is a way that you can generate more income. Join us at www.epictraders.live.
Yamaya's